welcome back to another edition of Biro Sports Talk. I'm your host, Biro, and as always, follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're also on Instagram. Give us a like, follow us. You know who it is. It is, of course, the host, Biro. And don't forget, hashtag BiroST. So, let's go ahead and go into this. Today we got some big, more local divisions in the NFL. The last two, the AFC North, NFC South. Got some big time there. What to expect in this? So this time I did choose the same website, pff.com, for both the AFC and NFC. We're not doing different ones. And then next week, it is the draft. The draft starts on Thursday, and we will definitely have a show before the draft. And then during the draft, like always, sending out Instagram pics, Facebook pics, updating everyone on who is drafted where for the first round. After that, you're on your own. But hey, who knows? We'll see what happens. So with the AFC North, you got Cincinnati, you got Cleveland, you got Pittsburgh, and you got Baltimore. What more do you need to hear? So let's start off with the Bengals. So everyone's on board with this pick. Penei Sewell, the top tackle, did not play this year in college due to the COVID restrictions. And this kid he's just that good. He's a great tackle. He'd be a left tackle. Joe Burrow needs it. You need someone to protect your investment. A lot of people are also saying go Jamar Chase, but I do like the tackle here. In this one, they also pick second round and third round. They do go receiver in the second round. Not quite a fan of Miami Brown there. I do like the guard in the third round. Like I said, stocking up those linemen for Joe Burrow. I like that more. They have some weapons already with Boyd and Higgins. So we'll see how it works. Second on this list, which is also interesting, I find, are the Steelers. Steelers are a little interesting already, too. At 24, they're not going big quarterback. They could get someone later. Mason Rudolph is still there. I don't think Mason Rudolph is that great, but going tackle's not bad. You got to protect the linemen. They do go in this mock running back in the second round. I can see that. Or later, especially with Connor moving on from Pittsburgh. So, very intriguing. Of course, tackle's a big deal due to Alejandro Villanueva retiring. So, yeah, got to replace that guy. Linebacker's interesting as well. Running back, kind of like Travis Etienne or someone, but we'll see. Moving right along, try not to be too fast, trying not to be too slow. But next on this list is the Browns. Browns made playoffs finally, doing okay. High hopes this year. So who do they see at 26? Now, this is an old pick, I guess. I'm going to tell you right now it's an old pick. This one's made April 7th. Yep, so it's old. They have defensive end. As we all know, Clowney has signed. So maybe not defensive end now. Defensive interior, second round. Third round, tight end linebacker. Yeah, I don't see end anymore. Defensive end. What they suggest, or what they said they did go out and improve their secondary. They still go pass rusher. It wouldn't be a bad idea, maybe. Oh, wow. Got some spam already. Anyways, got some spam. Browns. It's interesting. They're kind of set in a lot of different positions. What I do see more, I could see more linemen. Lineman's always a safe pick, especially in the late 20s. Then I would go corner or linebacker. Oh, sorry. Linebacker. They did go linebacker in this third round on PFF.com. But I could see offensive line, linebacker, corner. But let's move right along with the AFC North. So, of course, last but not least are the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think this is the best thing to do. But, like a lot of people, they have the Ravens getting a wide receiver. This one just happens to be in the first round instead of like a second round or something. They do go edge rusher for the second round. Third round, they get a guard. Like guard, I don't know if I like Terrence Marshall Jr. for the Ravens. I mean, they have Marquise Brown. They got Sammy Watkins this year. They're adding a lot of depth. Excuse me. Adding a lot of depth for receiver for a team that prefers to be a running team. I mean, a lot of people want them to be a passing team. They want to see Lamar Jackson throw the ball more. Not a bad mock there, PFF.com. Next week, that will probably be the show's mock draft. But moving right along. So, real quick, while we're stopped between the two, let's just get this hit up. Evo Retro is a company that sells a lot of retro accessories. So, like game protectors, game controllers, flash hard drives. I say hard drives, but they're called memory cards. Man. But fear not, they also have Funko Pop protectors. As you can see, Speed Racer right here, and a protector. So if you want to protect your retro games, your Funko Pops, Evo Retro is the place for you. But let's also not forget we are on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And once again, I am your host, Biro. And let's move right into the final division, the one I always like to do last before the big draft. The one I know the best, the NFC North. So the Lions. A year they had Seemed like at times they could get it together, and at times it just fell apart. There's no doubt in my mind I like this number 7 pick, and I'll tell you why here in a second. So they go receiver. Second round, they go linebacker. Third round, safety, corner. I like all those picks. Let's start with the first one, of course. So the 7th pick, they go wide receiver. Why do I like wide receiver? When the Lions were most dangerous most recently, they had receivers. They had Megatron, and they had, I believe, Mike Williams on the other side at times. It might not be Mike Williams, now that I think about it. But they had talented receivers. So Stafford could just throw it up and they get it. Lions getting Devontae Smith from Alabama. Perfect. They needed that for Jared Goff after this trade. He will definitely help this receiving core. I know they've been trying to get some sort of running game going, but of course, always struggling. But I do like that then they go defense. Not necessarily linebacker, safety, corner, but, you know, they got to bolster that defense. They just allowed a lot of points. And the wide receiver for the big home run hit. I think that's great. But since I like to move right along and go quick through a lot of this stuff, next we got the Vikings. Vikings with a down year, honestly. So, 2 tackles. And an edge rusher. I mean, it makes sense. Let's get some players, get some guys for the offensive line. Protect Kirk Cousins. So this kid they have picking first is going to probably be a guard. Listed as a tackle, probably going to be a guard. Played all left tackle at USC. Could he play the other positions? Of course. He played 926 snaps, at left guard in 2019. He's going to be a good guard. Then they go defense, which, yeah, the Vikings need some defense. But getting another tackle, they need a tackle. So they go Stone Forsythe from Florida. So it'll be interesting to see. Man, he's a giant at 6'9". But I don't mind tackle, defense tackle, even if it is guard, defense tackle. But let's talk about one team before we get to my team. Because I like to save my team last. Even if this article has them next, I'm going to skip them and go straight into the Packers. So the Packers at 29, they have wide receiver, then linebacker, then corner. The big thing with them is they need another elite wide receiver. In this mock, wide receiver Elijah Moore. That's a good pickup, not too shabby. A good Ole Miss wide receiver. Guy who can play the slots. Then they have them, of course, going defense. Because, again, teams need to build on their defense. Now, Blake Martinez left after the 2019 season. He was okay, but they thought addition by subtraction that helped. However, Martinez had a career year. Packers struggled at linebacker. I get linebacker as a position of need, and I get corner too. They at times allowed some big plays. It happens, but at times they had big plays. Ooh, this hurts. This hurts. Let me just say it one more time. It hurts. I'm not a fan of how PFF.com drafted the Bears. So they have the Bears going safety, tackle, quarterback. Quarterback's the third round, tackle's the second round, and of course safety's the first, but there's so many other positions you can get in that first round. You could probably get a good tackle at 20. You could probably get some defensive players to fill in for those that left. Like corner. Corner's a big one with Fuller gone. I know we tried signings. I just don't see this kid as the Bears pick. Furthermore, I can't see Jamie Newman as a quarterback prospect for the Bears. I really, really can't. Just for that, switching gears, going to a different website, of course, because just come on. That was bad. I did not like that at all, and they've been pretty good for mocks leading up to this. Here we go. Let's go positions of needs updated as of today instead of early April. Team needs, of course, they're going to say quarterback's the base need. I mean, it is. It really, truly is. So who do we think the Bears go with? Honestly, I could see offensive tackle at 20. I can see a non-flattering pick, like an offensive lineman, at 20. If they don't move up or move back for a certain player, that's who I think they go. Lineman. What do I see in a second round or third round? I think that's when you look for like a Kyle Trask. You think he would be the guy I'd look at because proven track record. I mean, if they really think Dalton's the guy, you could wait. There's Ian Book and Sam Ellinger at the end of the draft that you could add. You'd get a cheaper rookie, of course, but it's interesting what's going on. So, in other news, we're going to stick with this NFL for now. There's been some rule changes. I mean, they approved single-digit numbers for players in general. Replay officials allowed to do more. There is an onside kick adjustment. The arrangement in 2020, only 3 onside kicks were recovered on 67 attempts. That was the lowest total and recovery rate since 2001. That's interesting. I'm sorry for the pause. I'm trying to figure out what they're saying. One of the proposed rules is, of course, the you have to get a first down on a 4th and 15 if you want to do an onside kick now. Did it get approved? I don't see anything that says. They did approve it for 1 year. Yeah, you got to be. And fans got to be interested. Plain and simple. Flexibility with the numbers, of course, that's a easy one. Blocking below the waist is prohibited. But it was tabled due to a lot of lingering questions, and I get that. It's hard not to block below the waist at times. Lots of down to such plays. Wow. Intriguing. So I'm trying to read this as fast as I can to give you guys what these rules are. Man. So, a very specific play. Week 11, Buccaneers and Rams. Tom Brady, excuse me, threw a 3rd down pass. It got deflected back to Tom Brady. He caught it and threw it again to Mike Evans for an 8-yard gain. It was illegal and Brady was penalized, but Sean McVay declined the penalty due to them not converting and not giving Tom Brady a second attempt on converting the 3rd down. They approved the tweak that this type of play will result in a loss of down, which makes sense. Let's keep it as is. Let's leave it with the loss down. Of course, no overtime in preseason. Yay. Oh, that's holding. Oh my goodness. Emphasis on taunting. And now they're saying they're too lax. Like, oh my goodness. Let people celebrate, man. Come on. See the spot and choose. Don't quite know, but that's okay. But those were the rule changes. I know another big rule that wasn't NFL, but was NCAA football. After, it used to be if you did the 3rd overtime, you would have to start going for 2. Now it's if you're in the 2nd overtime, you got to start going for 2 for all your extra points. Yeah. All right. Whew, man, Jazz are going to clinch soon. Excuse me. So, real quick, NBA with their weird 10-team schedule. Let's start with the top 6 that automatically make playoffs. So, Sixers, Nets, Bucks, Knicks, Hawks, and Celtics are the teams you're looking at in the East for the top 6 right now. Heat, Hornets, Pacers, Wizards are sitting there from 7 to 10. Going to be playing for a playoff spot. What's interesting to me is the Wizards are in it. They were a very bad team, but they've won 6 in a row. Getting hot at the right time. Battling for that 10th spot. With the Raptors, who are a half game behind. Played one more game. But the Raptors close. Bulls are also close. Full game behind. And then you got your Cavs, Magic, Pistons. Cavs kind of in it, but not really. They've lost only... they won the most recently, but they're 4-6 in their last 10. So, yeah. Here we are in the West. Excuse me. as they say, the Wild Wild West. You got Utah, Suns, Clippers, Nuggets, Lakers in the 5, and Trailblazers 6. Not too bad at all. Good 6. I think it's interesting the Lakers are only 5th. Could be a telling tale. You're 4 in the play-in games, though. You got the Mavs, barely on the outside, Grizzlies, Warriors, and Spurs. Spurs doing pretty well right now. Team on the outside looking in, but a lot of games back are the Pelicans. Just not putting it together like they need to. And the Kings are right there with the Pelicans, and then you drop off to the Thunder, who's fallen apart, man. 12 straight losses. Ouch. Timberwolves, and then Rockets as the last 2. Ouch. Thunder, ouch. Man, keep yawning. But, so how the play-in game would work, you would have Dallas versus Memphis. You would have Golden State versus San Antonio. Winners of the Dallas-Memphis game, automatically 7 seed. Loser plays the winner of Golden State San Antonio. So in the East, it would be Miami versus the Hornets, Pacers versus the Wizards. Say the Heat win, the Hornets would have to play the winner of the Pacers and Wizards, with the Wizards being hot. Wizards. So, interesting how that all plays out. But man, another sport for an older generation is how I look at it normally. But baseball going on, a lot of 500 teams. We'll address it more later. But a lot of teams with their hot starts are starting to fall back. It's just inevitable. When you're home a lot, you got to win. I mean, usually you do win. And when you're away, you lose. And that keeps you around 500. But one last time, let's show the sponsor. This is the wrong direction. We're more right there. Man, why is this so hard? Evo Retro. Like I said, retro accessories. You know, when I do play games, they're retro games. Let's not also forget Funko Pop protectors. As you can see, Speed Racer's in one of these. Michael Jordan and Zion Williamson in the far back is also in protectors. So, showing you like it is. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in. I will see you guys next time. Next week, 7 p.m. before the NFL draft. So, next week, mock draft. See you then, 7 p.m. This is your host, as always, Biro, and I will see you next time.